What if I told you every pesticide spray you buy creates more pest problems than it solves? You kill beneficial insects that would protect your garden naturally. Pests rebound faster and stronger. Asian farmers never entered this cycle. They use 10 methods that make gardens self-protecting. Here's how. Companion planting. Plant perilla between tomatoes and cabbage. The strong aromatic oils mask vegetable scent from pests searching for host plants. Garlic chives around the garden border repel aphids with sulfur compounds. Korean chrysanthemum greens interplanted with lettuce confuse cabbage moths. The ratio is 1 aromatic plant for every 4 to 5 vegetable plants. Pests navigate by smell. Mixed scents create confusion that reduces infestations by 60 to 80% without spraying anything. Fermented plant extracts. Chop hot peppers, garlic, and ginger. Mix equal parts by weight with brown sugar. Pack in a jar and ferment for 7 to 10 days. The fermentation releases plant compounds and creates new biopesticides through bacterial action. Strain and dilute 1 part extract to 500 parts water. Spray on leaves weekly. This doesn't kill insects directly. It triggers plants to produce their own defensive compounds. The plants become naturally pest-resistant through systemic acquired resistance. 1 batch costs $3 and makes 20 gallons of spray compared to buying bottles at $15 each. Rice paddy ducks and chickens. Asian farmers release ducks into rice paddies and chickens into vegetable gardens during non-growing periods. The birds eat slugs, snails, beetles, grubs, and pest eggs while scratching soil surface to disturb larvae. 2 to 3 chickens in a 100-square-foot garden eliminate 90% of ground-dwelling pests within 2 weeks. Use them between plantings or in paths around beds, not in actively growing crops where they'll damage plants. The birds also fertilize with nitrogen-rich manure. Western slug baits cost $20 annually in poisoned soil. 3 chickens cost $60 initially and provide pest control plus eggs for years. Bamboo and neem oil barriers. Build lightweight frames from bamboo poles. Stretch muslin or cheesecloth over the frame. Soak the cloth in neem oil diluted 1 to 20 with water. Let it dry. Place frames over young transplants or susceptible crops. The physical barrier excludes flying insects, while neem residue repels anything that lands on the cloth. Neem contains azadirachtin, which disrupts insect molting and feeding. The frames are reusable for 3 to 5 years. Retreat cloth with neem monthly during pest pressure. Cost is $15 to $20 for materials that replace $75 to $100 in disposable row covers over 5 years. Remove frames when plants outgrow them or when pollination is needed. Ash and crushed eggshell perimeter. Wood ash from the fireplace or campfire mixed with crushed eggshells creates an abrasive alkaline barrier. Slugs and snails are soft-bodied. Crossing sharp eggshells damages their tissue. The alkaline ash desiccates their moisture. Spread a 2-inch wide band around plant bases or bed perimeters. Reapply after heavy rain. This uses kitchen waste and fireplace byproducts that would otherwise be discarded. Slug baits contain metaldehyde or iron phosphate. Both harm beneficial insects and soil organisms. The ash shell barrier is inert once dry and actually benefits soil by adding calcium and minerals. Collect eggshells and wood ash year-round. 5 minutes of crushing and mixing protects a 100-square-foot bed for 2 to 3 weeks between applications. Fermented fish. Amino acid spray. Fish scraps from your kitchen or local fish market ferment with brown sugar into concentrated protein fertilizer that also prevents fungal diseases. Mix equal weights of fish waste and sugar. Ferment for 3 to 6 months in a sealed jar. The fish liquefies into a brown amino acid solution. Dilute 1 part to 1,000 parts water. Spray on leaves every 7 to 10 days. The amino acids strengthen plant cell walls, making them physically resistant to fungal spores attempting penetration. The protein also feeds beneficial bacteria on leaf surfaces that outcompete pathogenic fungi. Commercial fungicides cost $12 to $20 per bottle and kill soil biology. 1 batch of fish amino acids costs $0 using scraps and makes 50 gallons of spray. Why the strong fish smell dissipates within hours of application, but remains unpleasant during fermentation. Keep the jar outside or in a garage during the months-long process. Beneficial insect hotels. Bamboo bundles, hollow stems, and drilled wood blocks provide nesting sites for predatory insects. Lacewing larvae eat 200 aphids each before pupating. Parasitic wasps lay eggs inside cabbage worm larvae. Ground beetles consume cutworms and slug eggs. These beneficial insects need overwintering habitat or they leave your garden. Bundle 10 to 15 bamboo sections cut to 6-inch lengths. Hang horizontally under eaves or in trees near the garden. Drill 1/4-inch holes 3 inches deep in untreated wood blocks. Stand them vertically in protected areas. Fill clay pots with straw or corrugated cardboard. Invert them on stakes throughout beds. The insects colonize these structures and establish permanent populations. Year 1, some beneficials arrive. Year 2, populations increase noticeably. Year 3 and beyond, pest damage drops to 5 to 10% because predator populations self-regulate pest numbers. This requires no ongoing cost or maintenance once structures are installed. Soapberry spray. Soap nuts or soap berries contain natural saponins that dissolve the waxy coating on soft-bodied insects. Place 6 to 8 dried soap nuts in a cloth bag. Boil in 1 quart of water for 10 minutes. Let cool and remove nuts. Dilute the soapy water 1 to 4 with plain water. Spray directly on aphids, whiteflies, spider mites, and mealybugs. The saponins penetrate their protective coating, causing dehydration and death within hours. This is a contact spray, not systemic. You must hit the insects directly. Reapply after rain. Soap nuts are reusable 3 to 4 times before saponins are exhausted. 1 pound of dried soap nuts costs $8 to $12 and makes 20+ gallons of spray over the season. Insecticidal soap at garden centers costs $10 per quart. The soap nut version is equally effective at 1/10 the cost. Apply in early morning or evening to avoid leaf burn from sun interaction with wet soap residue. Ginger and turmeric root barriers. Plant ginger or turmeric rhizomes between vegetable rows as living barriers against soil pests. The roots exude compounds that repel nematodes and root maggots. Gingerol in ginger and curcumin in turmeric are natural nematicides that create a protected zone around crop roots. Space rhizomes 12 inches apart along bed edges or between crop rows. They grow as perennials in warm climates or annuals in cold zones. Harvest the spice roots in fall after frost kills tops. Replant sections with growth buds for next season. 1 pound of seed rhizomes costs $10 to $15 and protects a 100-square-foot bed indefinitely through division and replanting. Chemical nematicides require soil fumigation with toxic gases. They cost hundreds of dollars for professional application and sterilize soil biology completely. The ginger barrier provides protection while producing culinary spices as bonus harvest. In cold climates, dig and store rhizomes indoors over winter, then replant in spring. The protection is position dependent. Pests avoid the immediate zone around ginger roots but aren't affected in distant bed areas. Plant densely for complete coverage. Chrysanthemum pyrethrin cultivation. Pyrethrum daisies contain pyrethrins that attack insect nervous systems while being safe for mammals. 1 packet of pyrethrum chrysanthemum seeds costs $4. Plant in spring for fall flowering. Harvest flowers when fully open. Dry them completely spread on screens in shade. Grind dried flowers to powder using a coffee grinder dedicated to this purpose. Mix 2 tablespoons of powder per quart of water. Add a few drops of dish soap as a spreader sticker. Spray on plants as contact insecticide. Pyrethrins kill on contact, but break down in sunlight within hours, leaving no residue. This is the active ingredient in commercial pyrethrin sprays that cost $20 to $30 per bottle. Growing your own provides unlimited spray for the cost of seeds. The plants are perennial in zones 5 through 9. One planting produces for 5 to 7 years with division every 3 years to maintain vigor. Each mature plant yields 30 to 50 flowers per season. 10 plants provide enough flowers for weekly spraying throughout summer. Harvest in the morning after dew dries, but before the heat of the day when pyrethrin content peaks. Why chemical control fails. Pesticides kill pests and beneficial insects equally. Predatory insects like ladybugs, lacewings, and parasitic wasps die from the same chemicals that killed aphids and caterpillars. Pests have short life cycles. Aphids reproduce in 7 days. They rebound quickly after spraying. Beneficial insects have longer life cycles. Ladybugs take 3 to 6 weeks to mature, their populations recover slowly. You spray again because pests returned. You kill the beneficial insects that are starting to recover. The cycle repeats. Each spray sets back beneficial populations while selecting for pesticide-resistant pests. Within 3 to 5 years, you need stronger chemicals applied more frequently to achieve the same control you had initially. This is the pesticide treadmill. It's designed into the system. Chemical companies profit from your repeated purchases. They breed crop varieties that need chemical inputs. They create dependency through hybrid vigor that disappears in saved seeds. Asian farmers avoided this trap by never using chemicals in the first place. They observed natural pest-predator relationships and designed systems that support beneficial organisms. The natural methods take 2 to 3 years to establish full effectiveness. That requires patience. Western gardening culture doesn't teach. We want instant results. We panic at the first pest sighting. We reach for chemical quick fixes that create long-term problems. The Asian approach accepts temporary pest damage in year 1, knowing the ecosystem is established. By year 3, predator populations regulate pests automatically. And the garden becomes self-maintaining instead of requiring constant intervention. The 3-year timeline. Year 1 feels like an experiment. You plant companions, hang insect hotels, and spray fermented extracts while watching pests eat some leaves. Accept 15 to 20% damage as the ecosystem establishes. Beneficial insects are arriving, but populations are low. Your patience is building the foundation. Year 2 shows visible improvement. Ladybugs emerge from overwintering sites in your hotels. Parasitic wasps hunt cabbage worms. Lacewing larvae patrol for aphids. Damage drops to 8 to 12% without increasing effort. The system is maturing. Predator populations are multiplying. Year 3 achieves balance. Pest damage stabilizes at 5 to 10%. You spend minimal time on pest management because the garden self-regulates. Predators respond automatically to any pest population increase. The aromatics have spread through division. Fermented sprays are a routine habit requiring 20 minutes weekly. This is what Asian farmers mean by working with nature. You created conditions for natural balance. Now the system maintains itself while you harvest. Cost breakdown. Over 5 years. Chemical approach costs $60 annually in pesticides, $40 in fungicides, $20 in slug bait. That's $600 over 5 years plus $30 for sprayers. Total $630 with nothing to show after 5 years except dependency on continued purchases. Natural approach costs $30 a year. 1 for aromatic transplants, 25 for fermentation supplies, 15 for bamboo and materials. Year 1 total, $70. Years 2 through 5 cost $10 annually for brown sugar to continue fermenting. 5-year total, $110. You save $520 while building permanent infrastructure that improves over time. The aromatic perennials spread through division, giving you free plants. Beneficial insect hotels last decades. Fermentation skills transfer to fertilizer making. By year 6, your garden operates almost free, while chemical gardens continue paying corporations forever. That's the difference between extraction and investment. Building your natural defense system. Start with 3 methods this season. Plant aromatic companions immediately. They work from day 1 through scent masking. Set up beneficial insect hotels this week. The structures take 1 hour to build and establish permanent habitat. Make your first batch of fermented plant extract this month. The upfront time investment is 10 minutes. It ferments itself for 2 weeks while you do nothing. Apply weekly once ready. Next season, add physical barriers for specific pest problems you identified year 1. If slugs were an issue, implement the ash eggshell perimeter. If aphids concentrated on certain crops, add soap nut spray to your rotation. Year 3, incorporate root barriers if soil pests are present. Add poultry if you have space and local regulations allow. Consider growing pyrethrum for homemade contact spray. The system builds over time. Each method you add increases overall effectiveness exponentially because they work synergistically. Aromatics plus beneficial insects plus fermented sprays create 3 layers of protection where pests must overcome multiple obstacles. No single method is perfect. Combined, they create resilient defense that adapts to pest pressure automatically. The goal isn't zero pest damage. That's impossible and undesirable. 5 to 10% damage is acceptable and indicates a healthy ecosystem with diverse organisms coexisting. And chemical-free gardens look slightly imperfect. Leaves have small holes. Some fruits show insect marks. But the produce is safe, nutritious, and produced in soil that improves yearly instead of degrading from chemical exposure. Your first season. This week, buy perilla and garlic chive transplants. Plant them throughout your existing garden at 1 aromatic per 4 vegetables. Buy brown sugar and start fermenting hot peppers and garlic for your first spray batch. Build 1 bamboo bundle insect hotel and hang it near the garden. That's $30 and 2 hours invested. In 2 weeks, your fermented spray is ready. Apply it weekly, diluted 1 to 500. Notice which pests appear and where. By mid-season, you'll identify specific problems to address with targeted methods next year. Accept some pest damage this first season. You're establishing the foundation. Next spring, the beneficial insects that moved into your hotel will emerge and begin hunting pests. The companion plants will be established and spreading. Your fermented spray routine will be automatic. By year 3, you'll spend less time on pest management than you did spraying chemicals while achieving better results with safer food.